My name is Chris from CJM Industries. In this video I'm going to talk about our new Swan neck wing. This is built for the Mark 7 and 7.5 Golf models. I'll show you what you got to modify on the spoiler cap, couple details about the wing itself, and then I'll show you the general install. We'll do a full video separately that shows detailed steps, but I want to show some of the features and how we designed this and why we did the things we did. One of the things that comes with the kit is this 3D printed little jig. You get a left and a right. This has little slotted nubs on it, and they line up with the existing holes on the hatch, and that's going to let us set the position of the two holes that go for the upper bracket. So the way this works is that just slides into those holes, and then we have a registration mark on the bottom that should be tight to your glass. That'll let you drill these two holes in the correct position the first time. You don't have to mark or measure anything. You actually don't have the ability to put a nut on the backside because there's a piece of sheet metal behind this. So your only option would be a riv nut. I don't like riv nuts for this application because of where the forces involved. We have the wing that's going to be pulling this way, putting weight downward. So what we provide is a nut plate. This is using a hex shank pneumatically set riv nut, and we do this here before it ships. So you get these plates already ready to go. It's got the bolts already spaced properly for that area. This lets you slide this into an existing hole inside the hatch, and it lines up your hole, so you're just tightening your bracket onto this. The other benefit here is that you don't need to hold the backside of it with a wrench or anything, and it's big enough that if you lose grip of it or something, it's not going to fall into this cavity and you'll never be able to get it out. You'll still be able to grab this with a pair of pliers or something if you do drop it in there. I've seen other wings that attach other places, and the reason I went out here was because the load-bearing part of the hatch where the pin is right here. So we're as close as we can get to that while still having access to it. And it also doesn't interfere with the third brake light. It doesn't interfere with clips on the top of the spoiler cap. Doesn't interfere with the hose washer or anything like that. So this was the best place to put it, in my opinion. I think it's also the strongest. And there is a trade-off that comes with the positioning we chose. You do have to notch the spoiler so that the bracket can come through. And you can see on this one, I got a slot on each end. We include a paper template that lines up with the third brake light, and that'll position your slot. You'll see this spoiler hatch is mangled. It's got all sorts of holes in it. That's because this is the one that I prototyped with. If you use the template, it helps you drill a hole in the right spot and then slice it out with an oscillating tool or a jigsaw or something. You'll get a much nicer result, and it's all hidden under here, so that once this is installed, all you see is the tab coming down. The other benefit of having it this way is that if you ever need to remove the wing because you daily drive your car and you don't want the wing to be swiped or something, you can just yank the 4 bolts, and then the whole wing assembly with the uprights comes right off. To trim the slot and the spoiler cap, we include this paper template. This is 2 scale, so we're going to cut out the outside, and then I'll show you how to line this up on the cap. We're going to align this inside with the edge of the third brake light there. That fold is going to wrap around, and we'll use this corner to make sure that we're aligned on this top edge here. And then that's going to wrap around the back, and that'll outline the area that we have to cut. This whole assembly is aluminum. It weighs less than 18 pounds powder coated. It's closer to 17 and change raw. If you wanted to vinyl wrap it, that's also a good option if you're trying to color match or match a livery or something like that. The end plates bolt right on to the foil. These are already tapped for an M8 bolt, so if you want to run an aftermarket end plate, something carbon, make your own, that's an option for this. The angle of attack bracket on the top here, AOA mount, is just 2 bolts. It's hinged on the rear, so you would just loosen that slightly. On the front, we're just going to slide this bolt out. And just like that, I can adjust my angle of attack and then slide my bolt back into whatever position I want. We have 5 settings built into it. We suggest running it at 0 because it's the most efficient there, but if you're on a really tight, slower course, going all the way up to the highest setting might be beneficial for you. The bracket bolts into the foil. We set a riv nut in the foil pneumatically as well. We'll do that before it ships and even attach this, so that's one less thing that you go to assemble, but this is all serviceable. We're going to stock most of these parts, and we can, if you end up stripping something or you break it or something, we'll be able to replace all that pretty easily. I don't think I mentioned it yet. Rear wiper still works. It clears the inside of the uprights, so that's still functional. I also want to mention that if you want to run a carbon foil, it's not something we currently sell, but we can build just the upright, the brackets, the mounting kit. We'll sell you whatever pieces you need if you're trying to DIY something yourself. So you can send us an email, support@cjmind.com, and we'll get you a price for whatever pieces you need. That's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can send us an email, reach out on social media, or you can leave a comment on this video and we'll get back.